everybody, this is Zoe from No Safer Place. And yesterday I went to see one of the greatest musicals I have ever seen. So yesterday I went to see Come From Away at the Phoenix Theatre in London. I hadn't even really heard much about this show, but I went to the What's on Stage Awards at the beginning of the month and I saw a snippet of this production and was absolutely blown away, booked tickets immediately. I managed to get tickets for £25 when it was London Theatre Week. Usually the tickets that I had were £45, so I felt like this was a really good deal. And they were amazing seats. I will insert some pictures now of what the theatre was like and where we were sitting. And I didn't really know too much about it. I'd only heard the one song, which was performed by Rachael Tucker at the What's on Stage Awards, and that was called Me in the Sky, and I absolutely loved it. I loved her, so I thought I would just give it a go. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been this blown away initially by a musical. Like, I wouldn't go as far to say it's my favourite musical because I obviously love Heathers more than anything, but this just struck a chord with me that no other musical has before. It really gets into your heart and it tugs at those heartstrings, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I picked up this programme for £5. I really didn't think it was that expensive. I was expecting it to be a little bit more money because I've paid up to like £15 for programmes before, so I was really happy with this. So the story focuses on the events of 9/11 and what happened in the aftermath of that event. So there's a tiny town in Canada, in Newfoundland, called Gander, and 38 planes with around 7,000 people were diverted to this really small town in Canada, and the population of the town was only around 9,000. So for 7,000 people to just arrive at the airport and need food, shelter, clothing, water, bathroom facilities, just everything, must have been absolutely insane. So the story kind of focuses on that and what happened once those 7,000 people arrived there and how it changed everyone's lives. They were only there for 5 days, but once you've finished watching it, it feels like the characters have known each other forever and like you, the audience, have known them forever. With a cast of just 12 people and all of the 12 actors playing multiple roles, it should be confusing and manic and feeling like you can't keep up with it all. But it's not at all. It's smooth, it's easy to follow, the transitions are brilliant. The changing of actors, the use of different cultures, it just captures everything so brilliantly. So it follows a lot of character stories, but I'm just going to tell you my favourite ones and the ones that stood out to me in this. The story that kind of touched my heart the most and made me feel so many emotions was the one that followed a Muslim chef called Ali. Now, he was Egyptian, and there's a song called On the Edge where they're talking about how much tensions have risen and there were a few arguments breaking out, and there are a few people that kind of blame Ali for everything that is happening and that it's his people that have caused this. And the way that Ali responds, just the pure raw emotion and heartbreak that you feel for him being in this position where he has done absolutely nothing wrong apart from be himself and believe in something different to these people, and he's being penalised for it. It really is so heartbreaking. And then there's also another part where this guy is stopped when he's trying to go back home, and he has this full body search which is completely against his religion, and I was sobbing at this part. I felt so bad for him. And the actor that plays him, Jonathan Andrew Hume, is absolutely incredible. He also plays several other roles, one of them being a gay guy called Kevin, and his roles are, I think, the most polar apart roles you could ever imagine, but both of them are completely believable and authentic. Even though you see him put on a hat or put on a coat and see him physically change for the roles, it feels like they are completely different people, and I feel like that with the whole cast. It is all done brilliantly. So there's another character called Bonnie who is a vet, and I think you almost forget that animals are on this plane too. So I think there was 19 animals, 9 cats, 8 dogs and 2 bonobo monkeys. Can you imagine being a vet in a small town of Canada and 2 rare bonobo monkeys just showing up and you having to look after them, and the woman being pregnant. That story was beautiful, and the ending of it made me cry so much. Not going to spoil it if anyone hasn't seen it, but it's perfect. Nick and Diane are my favourite. Nick is my absolute favourite character. I think he is absolutely gorgeous. And Nick and Diane don't know each other. They've met on the plane, and watching their kind of friendship and love for each other blossom over the 5 days is truly magical. It's done beautifully and also tactfully, because you can see that they feel guilty for having met each other through such a horrific way, but their relationship is stunning and the actors are fan-frigging-tastic. So that was just a few of them, but there's obviously so many people's stories going on that are unravelled throughout the play. But as I say, it's really easy to keep up with, and you'll definitely have your favourites. There's a song where there's everyone from different religions, different beliefs, different cultures, and they're all praying in their own way. But it's all set out on the stage together, and the beauty of it, the togetherness of it, made me cry. And I saw quite a few other people crying at this moment. It was just so beautiful that everyone can come together in this one moment of unity and accept that there are so many different ways of praying and just all come together. It was absolutely stunning. And I know I'm going to say that about pretty much everything in this review, but honestly it was. Another touching story that I haven't spoke about is there is a woman there called Hannah, and her son is a firefighter in New York, and she can't get through to him. She doesn't know what's going on. And throughout the play, she is waiting for news, and then right at the end when she gets the news, and you kind of have known for the whole show what the news is going to be, but it still doesn't make it any easier to accept when you get to that point. Yeah, that is a moment. Another character that I love is the mayor. He adds some real humour to this. He is really funny, but also you can tell how much pressure he feels, because he obviously feels like he's in charge of all these people, and he's gone from a town of 9,000 to a town of 16,000 literally overnight. Rachael Tucker played a pilot. She also played a Newfoundlander, 2 very different roles, but she smashed them both, as I assumed that she would. Her solo, Me in the Sky, which is what I saw at the What's on Stage Awards, I thought it was absolutely fantastic and she was brilliant, but I feel like that being used as the standout song from the musical doesn't give the musical enough justice. Like, she has an amazing voice and probably the best voice in the production, but I feel like there's a lot more emotional songs and a lot more fun songs that they could use to promote it, because yeah, although I loved that song, there were a lot more that I loved more. I think the best thing about this is seeing how quickly people are able to put aside differences and come together in the face of adversity. And I feel like that is exactly what this world needs right now. Just to show that no matter what happens to this country or other countries, we will always come together, we will always unite. And no matter what, we will always be the stronger ones. And I can feel myself getting emotional saying that, because I feel like that is the real purpose of this musical. And it does it so perfectly. I was looking around at quite a few moments, which obviously I can't say because it was spoil, and so many people were wiping their eyes, getting tissues out, because there is just something so raw about this, and everyone remembers exactly what they were doing when this happened. And there's a particular moment in the play where the people get off the planes and they're witnessing the crash for the first time, and their reactions are exactly the reactions you had when you saw it for the first time, and those memories come back and you just think, wow, this was a thing that happened, and this amazing small town in Canada pulled together and made 7,000 people feel part of their community and welcomed them with open arms when all of this was going on. And I just think it's stunning. Now, a quick talk about the staging and lighting. When I went in there, it looked so bare. I thought, wow, this is the barest set I have ever seen in such a huge theatre. But when it started, I was blown away how such a simple set could be that fantastic. So the placement of the chairs, because pretty much, as you saw in the pictures earlier, it is just a few chairs, a few tables, and a little bar. That's pretty much it. But knowing that the placement of the chairs and the way the lighting falls makes it feel as if you're part of this ever-changing set, and it's absolutely insane when you think of how minimal the set is. Now the music, I feel like I could talk about the music all day. It is so much better than I was expecting. I purposely went into this having not listened to it, and it was brilliant. It was funny, it was heartwarming, it was just so important. 1 minute you're laughing, 1 minute you're crying. It did such a great job of creating a group of strangers that turned into a community that then turned into a family. And I think over a 5-day period into a 140-minute musical, they did that perfectly and created that atmosphere perfectly. It was raw, it was clever, it was very tactful, and most importantly, very true. You almost forget that this has happened in your lifetime and how important it was and how much it changed things. It also gives you a reason to be hopeful that no matter what happens, we'll always have each other's backs, and I think that is such an important message. I was going to talk about some of the cast, but I feel like every single cast member was brilliant, and if I went through every single one, this video would be about 40 minutes long, and no one wants to see that. But yeah, I will say my two favourites, which were Nick and Ali, played by Robert Hands and Jonathan Andrew Hume. They were both mind-blowing. Not that all of the cast were, because I feel bad for saying that now, because all of them were sensational. This show was sensational. I'm going to see it again. Me and my godmum both went to see it. She is nearly 60. I'm obviously 25. And we both left there feeling like this was one of the greatest things we had ever seen. It was really feel good. It put you through the motions, and I cannot recommend this enough. If you think musicals aren't your thing, this will prove you wrong. Even though it's pretty much music from the start to the end, there's not really any gaps where there's not any music playing. It works. Everything about this works. I feel like this is the most praised review I have ever done. I can't seem to shut up or stop smiling. I think from about 5 minutes in, I had tears in my eyes, and it didn't leave throughout the whole show, whether that was laughter or sadness or happiness for the characters. It didn't go. So please, please go and see Come From Away at the Phoenix Theatre. It is there till September. I would love to speak to some of you about it, because I feel like I could rave about this all day. It is amazing. If you've seen this production or seen the production in any of the other places that it's at, let me know in the comments below and let me know what you thought of it. Or if you're planning to go and see it, also let me know. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a like or subscribe or leave a comment. Also, if you like this video, you can turn on the notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos, which is usually every Tuesday and every Saturday. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see more of on my channel, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.